Hi everybody. So today I want to talk about a subject that's been really interesting me recently, and that's the soul. I've been reading a book called Care of the Soul by Thomas More. Thomas, and then his last name is M-O-O-R-E. The book was published in '92 and it sold over 1.5 million copies. So a significant bestseller. I tried to read this book when I was in my 20s. I tried again in my 30s, and now that I'm in my 40s, the book is finally speaking to me. One of the things I really like about it is that it takes a Jungian approach, so informed by Carl Jung. And one of Jung's ideas that I find fascinating is that each of us expresses or contains what's called an anima, A-N-I-M-A, as well as an animus. And I'll just present my understanding of these terms because they're quite slippery. So an anima is the feminine aspect. So for example, I identify as gender fluid and as a man. And as a man, my notion of what a woman is has been shaped by archetypes of women, shaped by my mother, by other significant women figures around me. In my case, that's my sister and my aunt, my mother's sister, as well as pop culture representations of women. Women teachers, women peers, friends, all that we associate with the feminine gets formed into this figure that we carry with us as to what a woman is. And for the animus, that's what a man is. So my understanding is that each human has this sense of what it means to be a woman and has a sense of what it means to be a man. Obviously this is really interesting and juicy if you're a gender fluid person because it's speaking to you. Most people, since about the 70s, I believe in the West, there's been a general understanding that each person has both a feminine and a masculine side. This idea may have been influenced by Jung, but I'm not sure what exactly brought this idea about. The idea may have been around in culture longer, I don't know. But I've read recently that from about the 70s, sociologists began to observe that people believe that we have a masculine and a feminine side. These words should be put in quotation marks, masculine, feminine, because they're very traditional ideas of what is feminine and what is masculine. And for me, I'm not sure whether those are good ideas, useful ideas, or not, for me in my own life. So, Care of the Soul, Thomas More's book, one of the things it talks about is the role that the anima plays and the role that the animus plays. So for example, I as a man am attracted mostly to women, but also to men. So I identify as queer in terms of my sexual orientation. It used to be called bisexual, but one of the things I like about the word queer is that whereas bi just makes us think in terms of the binary, the gender binary, when we move to a notion like queer, there's a sense of the whole spectrum of gender expression. So I identify as queer, and one of Jung's ideas, as I understand it, is that let's say I'm attracted to a particular woman, I need to be careful not to project my anima onto that woman. Now Jung might say that this is an unconscious process, we don't have much control over it, you're going to do that projection, but we can bring that projection into consciousness. So what does it mean to project? It means that For example, maybe I have an idea that to be feminine is to be nurturing, to be kind, to be supportive, to be compassionate. And so in my relationship with this woman, I bring those expectations unconsciously to the relationship. And when she doesn't act in those ways, I'm disillusioned, disappointed, and that may cause the relationship to break up. Similarly, for a woman, let's say, who's straight, who's attracted to men, she might have a certain idea that a man is a provider, will take care of her, and so on, coming from a notion of the father or the brother or the man. And so that woman needs to bring into consciousness her own assumptions and expectations, her projection of her animus. So these are really useful ideas as I see it. Maybe I should stop there. That will be part one of my talking about soul. Thanks for listening.